there are some people of color who are saying, I don't feel like you understand the pain that I'm experiencing as a black person in this country. I feel like, in fact, you're indifferent to it. I'm telling you, my experience is my house is on fire. And you're just walking by because your house is fine. And that's not what loving people do. The people that are trying to say that, you want to listen to them. And you ought to be provoked and moved by compassion towards them. I don't care what color they are. If somebody said, man, my life matters, does anybody care about me? Wouldn't you go, I care about you, let me stop what I'm doing. I care about you, help me understand.
Black Lives Matter's finances under scrutiny once again as tax documents show the nonprofit on the brink of bankruptcy.
Here's national correspondent Kayla Gaskins.
The movement swept the nation.
What do we want? Justice!
But a bright spotlight comes with intense scrutiny. Includes millions paid to board members and family members of co-founder Patrisse Cullors. For example, $1.6 million went to the father of Cullors' child for security services. Another $2.1 million went to BLM board member Shaloma Bowers for consulting.
I feel vindicated because 2 years ago I said that this organization was a disingenuous scam, and it has proven itself to be a disingenuous scam.
Patrisse Cullors left BLM leadership in 2021 after documents revealed she spent millions on luxury homes in LA and Georgia. She took to Instagram last week, writing, quote, "For the last 2.5 years, I've been relentlessly attacked by the media. So many lies and so much mis- and disinformation. They are hell-bent on destroying my life."
This organization has been capitalizing off of unfortunate deaths and tragedies and guilt-tripping people to send them lots of money and donations.
They have really no idea what they're doing, and it shows. So that's why it looks like they're slowly going under.
On their website, BLM calls the criticism misinformation from the right, adding this is what happens when black people are financially autonomous from white supremacist structures like the nonprofit industrial complex.
This should be a huge story. Isn't the humiliation and the extortion of black Americans a big story, particularly to the left-wing media? It's stunning how quickly this has disappeared, but I think it says a lot about what the movement was really about.
Well, let me ask you this. You've been following Black Lives Matter more broadly. They've had a lot of issues as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not as of late. From the start, $1 billion, Dan, they don't know where it is. There's an umbrella organization. There's the national organization, that's Black Lives Matter. And then this organization that Mr. Page was convicted of defrauding is a local organization. So the umbrella organization gets all of those big donations, the ones you see from the NBA and big corporations, and then they're tasked with disseminating it to these local organizations. With the president of BLM, Patrisse Cullors, 4 years ago, she was called out for buying mansions. I think she's up to 4. I see black Americans like myself complaining about how bad things are in this country just as much as they were complaining 4 or 5 years ago. So clearly they've made absolutely no difference unless you happen to be the president of one of these groups, and then I guess your pocketbook has had a huge difference.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, your fellow believers of this truth, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, we all in the know about BLM and, you know, the hypocrisy and the front, you know, the front scheme of it all and everything. But I just want to talk about this situation where they've been getting caught, you know, the leaders buying hookers, right, furnishing their houses, buying mansions. So, you know, but what Nahum 3:1 says, woe to the bloody city is all full of lies and robbery. It's nothing but a sham. And then the reason why I want to bring this out, because you got Israelites, right, who has the same kind of mindset and tactics when it comes to money. You know, when you think about it, there's no way we can get reparation. First of all, they can't make up for that debt, as the scriptures say, that they laid up, except by, as Numbers 35 and 31, you cannot ye shall not pollute the land ye are. The land cannot be cleansed by only but by the blood of him that shed it. You know, so, something like that. So, you know, you give Jake, each Jake $1 million for reparations, let's say that. You can never make up. People talk about how much they would owe us for reparation. Then you got to just try to find out the lineages of people and where they come from, right? So that might be a so-called white person through the generations who may have, you know, have so-called black families, right? So you can never make that up. And then because of the system we under, right, you're going to spend the money on whatever you want to spend it on, right? And they're going to raise the prices. When they give reparations, I say they gave every so-called black man the reparations. Then a loaf of bread would be like $30 for one loaf. You got to know that's what happened. So these people didn't know what they were doing. And the reality of it, they got happy. They got some money. And the first thing a Jake do is buy a house, a car, and in this guy's case, some hookers. What did you expect? Anyway, I'm going to go to just read a bunch of scriptures out of Proverbs, you know. Proverbs 20:17, bread gained by deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth will be full of gravel. So what brings me to this is Matthew 7:17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. This whole system was built off corruption. That BLM, I think Berkshire, what's his name? Hathaway, Warren Buffett or whatever his name is, he donated like $700,000 to it, right? But us to know what happened and why they did that and ran it through, you know, a lot of the media don't know what the hell going on. A lot of people don't know what the hell is happening. They just take what the media says, right? But anyway, everything is off corruption, and these elites, they always want to fund all kind of so-called black, what you want to call businesses, right? As far as dealing with racial or religion. This is why they come to the Israelites and they'll offer them 501c3s and cash and money, because when they do that, then they can work out things, you know, they can work under the hand, so to speak, and control the narrative of what you're trying to teach. Like saying you can't call on Christ. I mean, you got to call on Christ. You can't call on the name of the Lord. And you can call the Lord whatever you want to call him. So if you want to call him Satan, I guess you can call him Satan. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's go to Proverbs 13:11. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathereth little by little will increase it. Do you know all of them do that, man? And this Black Lives Matter, BLM, whatever was started for the alternative lifestyles, so to speak. You know? So at the end of the day, it's all corrupt. And now they want their money. People want their money. The one guy's supposed to be serving jail time or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the whole scoop. But they say that they're sweeping it under the media. And a lot of this stuff is distractions and fronts while things go on, you know. But it says, Proverbs 10:2, treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. You know, easy, this kind of money will change you. You get $90 million. Oh, that's the first thing everybody buys is a house and a car. That's the first thing everybody buys. Of course. I probably would too if I had that kind of money, you know? You would want things. You would buy things you could never have. And our people are so oppressed, and this is the outcome of it. They start getting things and they don't know what to do with it. Look, man, the baby father, the son's father, they paid him $1.6 million just to do security. That's some serious security. I don't think the Trump security get paid that much. And then the Christian I looked at his take on it, and that's whatever. He's all for the black lives that's mattering. And we say it's about the elect. I thought Christians was about all people who convert and believe in Jesus Christ. But I don't know. I just wanted to put that in there to show more hypocrisy, right? 1 Timothy 6:9, but this is the English Standard Version. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation. This is why the Lord said, lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not corrupt and thieves break through and steal. It says, lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, which means it's truth, where the thieves can't break and steal them earthly riches. I know in the book of Proverbs it says riches grow wings and fly away. You got to understand, you're still under a curse. These are Israelites. They still under curse. All the stuff going on with Diddy and all them rascals over him been doing that. How you think he's like that? But nobody's saying anything. When you don't do what they tell you to do, and they give you this money, they own you. This is why they go into other countries and fund them. And if they don't follow what they say to do, they're going to come down on them, right? Same thing, even with smaller matters like with Diddy. P. Nipples. He didn't do what they told him to do. And these Black Lives Matter situations, they took that money, but they didn't count the cost, you know? For the love of money is the root of all evil, you know? That's why further in his verses says in 17 verse, trust not in uncertain riches. It is though this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs, right? So some people they just love the money. It says, keep your life, Hebrews 13:5, keep your life free from the love of money and be content with what ye have. That's why the scripture says in the Lord's Prayer, give us, Lord, our daily bread. For it says, for he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And that's why I'm basically doing this video, because you got Israelites that have followed that mindset and craving for the cash. And they're doing spending all these money on debates, and it's another sham or hook just like BLM. Seems to be no different. It's all a hustle. Right? That's why Matthew 7:17, I don't know if I read that, even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruit. This is all corruption. What do you expect? There's only one reparation, and that's with the Lord, his elect. But you also, I want to say this too. I always thought Black Lives Matter was a joke from the start, number one. They have their reasons on why they say it. But then when Jake is blowing and shooting and killing themselves, so-called black men, and they're shooting and killing one another, there's no lives that matter. But when a white cop shoots them, here you get this woman that's funded all this money to make changes to the so-called black community, when the changes are supposed to be made right from the home, starting with the mother. If the father isn't there, you raise them up, right? Not to get smart with cops because you get away with it because you're a woman. But him, your son, is going to get blown away. This is all the effeminate spirit that's on Jake. Not that some of these Edomites do want to kill you. Don't give them a reason to. Matthew 5 says, agree with thine adversary. See, this is why the Israelites, being a Hebrew Israelite, saves your life. These people out there running in the streets, fighting and shooting, Black Lives Matter, they just look like complete fools. And it's claiming it's all about their rights. But they're looking like complete fools, man. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.